Okay, there we go. All right. Hello, everyone. As promised, I am back. Yesterday, I was trying to do a live, and for some reason, the screen was dark. But hi, how y'all doing? Thank you so much for joining me. I know it's 10 o'clock where you are. It is 6 a.m. where I am. 6:01. The sun is about to come up over yonder. Let me try to clean off my lens to see if I can get you to get a better view. No, it's still blowing, giving blowout. But um, that's the new garden over there that I just I created for the event space. So it's like that all the way that way, and then this is the side for the beach. So we're out here at the Exodus house. It is what time in the morning? It is 6:01 a.m. I just wanted to give a live to show proof of life to people that I am here, I'm around. I haven't gone no place. I'm working diligently on um on the projects that I've created here in Tanzania, the opportunities that I've created for us to repatriate in Tanzania. And I really didn't feel like putting all of my business and saying everything that I was doing play by play, because it's not always useful or helpful. Because let's be honest, sometimes the devil is out there just trying to see what you're doing so they can figure out which way they can come and try to do you harm. So I understanding my position and who I am, and knowing that energetically, um, I attract a certain kind of people who feel like I should not be entitled to the things that I work for, or the person that I've become. So I don't really want to deal with any of that. And coming year 2025, I think it's essential that people like start looking into things that I've been saying over the years. Like, y'all are about in America are about to have Trump presidency number two. Y'all in America are experiencing an upheaval in your entire society. With the slaying of, this healthcare chief, it has caused the country to look at itself internally. And you have to really start to ask yourself some really deep, deep, deep questions like, is this something that I want to be a part of? Okay. Um, what does that have to do with anything? Well, you live in a country where you're forced to have health insurance. If you don't have health insurance, you're penalized for it. And if you have pre-existing conditions, you can't get coverage for it. That's a death sentence to a lot of people. And when you do find yourself that you do have issues, there aren't, support. There isn't support out there for for your illness. Like, people have the agencies or entities have the right to tell you that they are not going to provide service after taking your money. And that's issues that are coming up on the horizon that a lot of people are going to have to confront in this time. There's too much going on. There are aliens in the sea. There are aliens. Your government is admitting to aliens. Your celebrities are all toppling one by one. And those are indicators for what is to come, right? And some people might want to sit and see how everything plays out. Okay. And then there are some people who can use their spirit of discernment to realize that this is whichever way it plays out, it is not going to be played out in a in a positive way for the common people, because the American experience is not necessarily designed for the best quality of life for everyone. Okay. And so I've been working on my own projects. I don't want this to be like in 2020 where I told people, you got to get out of there. You know, you got to leave. You got to leave. You got to find a way. You got to do what you need to do and you got to go. You know, you know why? Because not everyone has a plan. And even if you have a plan, not everyone has the knowledge, skills, and the tools to execute that plan. Not everyone has vision. And so when people don't have vision, they look around at the other person who they think they want to emulate. And then they start to create situations of competition. And a lot of those people who don't have vision, they've come, they've gone. A lot of people who looked at me directly as I'm the problem because I'm a single woman out here with a child. And how dare me pick up myself and come all the way to Tanzania, not knowing anyone, not having any man, not having anybody to support me, or not no boyfriend, no husband here providing for me. And she just picked up herself and left with her baby. And she thinks she all that, and she's doing this and she's doing that. And, they're still in the same place that they've always been, just talking and not people of action. I'm a person of action. I am not in the position to just keep saying what I'm gonna do. I do. And that kind of person, a lot of men, people who call themselves men, didn't necessarily believed that I had the right or the wherewithal, number one, to complete the construction on this project. It was a major project. Everybody laughed at me. I was a laughing stock of the internet. I was a laughing stock of YouTube. I was a conversation piece for a lot of these men who were talking negatively about Black women, because when I was doing this house and I had the pre-reservations and the pre-booking, people were making their pre-bookings. A lot of men were jumping up and down. Why are you doing that? Why are you supporting her? Why are you helping her? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? And they have yet to do anything. And I warned you all, stop taking your advice from people who do not have your benefit in mind. Stop taking your behavior and your actions from people who are designed to obstruct a movement that is designed for you. And a lot of these men were very pissed and very angry, and they went on a campaign to destroy and tear down. And I said, and I told y'all don't have to come to me. You don't have to be where I am. Just leave. Just to get the hell up on out of there. You don't have to come to be with me in Tanzania. You don't have to go, just go. Find somewhere, go to Mexico, go to Norway, go somewhere. Just get the hell up on out of there, because it was not. And during the time of COVID-19, during the time when Black people were being destroyed in the street and the police were attacking Black people, it was evident that society was not designed for Black excellence or Black success. Okay, on the contrary. So I tried to talk to you people, but who am I? Nobody wants to listen to me, because a lot of people believed that I was after leadership, or I was after this, or I'm not after none of those things. I didn't sit and plot and plan and say, I'm going to go start a YouTube channel and then I'm going to do this. And weirdly enough, the way that I've been able uh, to, do what I did was the blueprint. So now you have a bunch of copycat people who came and decided that, oh, she ain't nothing. She ain't nobody. She ain't got no man. She doesn't have enough support. She doesn't have enough people to support her. She doesn't have anybody behind her. She doesn't have anybody to do anything with her. She doesn't have to, we don't have to listen to her. We don't have to join forces with her. We could take what she told us and come and start our own movement. And where are those movements now? Where are those movements now? I told y'all it is time to come home. I built this house for you people to come home, but you decided to go left, right. You could not listen to one cohesive message. You could not get behind one cohesive idea. You had division and deprivation in your character. So by the time you decided that, okay, I want to go, you're listening to this person, that person got so confused that you ended up here and have to pick up yourself and go right on back, still with nothing to show for it. Okay. And it's very interesting to me because here we are. You all think that this 2025, anything is going to be different from 2020? Or you think in 2025 anything is going to be better than 2020? You think what do you really think is going to happen in 2020? So I am done talking and I'm done doing the best with less and doing the impossible for the ungrateful. And I am not the first and I am not the last who have gone, who have spoken about the behavior of a certain kind of people when they come here. And I do not blame the American people. I blame the American culture. The American culture has created a sense of entitlement. It has created a sense of superiority. It has created a sense of confusion. So when y'all pick up, you don't come here with a new sense of, okay, this is going to be a new country, a new start, and everyone that I haven't met is a friend that I don't yet know. You come here with a mentality that you're going to attack or duplicate the first successful project or the first successful person that you see, that you perceive to be successful, because your culture has not afforded you the opportunity to be creative in planning and plotting and designing your own destiny. So you don't know what to look for or how to look for it or who to look at or who to believe or who to trust or who to support, right? Some of y'all sending $50,000 to people who don't even own the land that they're selling to you. Come on, really, people? No. Some of you have allowed people to tell you, well, don't do this or don't do that or blah, 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 blah. How can you come to one person and say, listen, I believe in you, I trust in you, and I see what you've done, and you have proof of your concept. You have proof. You told us you were going to finish that house with the pre-booking money that you made, and you did it. But you allow someone who didn't do shit, who did nothing, to tell you, well, she ain't this, she ain't that, wah, bah, 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 bah. And y'all thought you were going to subvert me and confuse me and turn my whole world upside down and frustrate me to the point where I had to pick up and leave. And guess what? 4 or 5 years later, y'all still have not made any progressive moves because of your confusion. And let me tell you, this is the reason why I have not been on YouTube because I don't need to scatter my forces by telling the entire universe what I've done. I don't need to tell the entire universe what I'm doing. I don't need to continuously provide fuel for your entertainment because I do not entertain. I am not here for your entertainment. I am not here to give you, oh, well, look at me today. Look at how cute I am. Look at this new house. Look at this, to give you confusion. I am here to give you a consistent, steady voice. You need to tap into the human part of you. You are a human being. You are a design of the creator. You are a design of the same creator who created these trees. They all come from the same soil, but they all produce different leaves and different fruits. Okay? You are a person who was created by a creator. You are a person. You're an animal. You have the exact same instincts of all lions. You have the exact same instincts of the birds. You have the exact same instincts of the fish. What do the birds do when there's a storm coming? They flee. When winter's coming, they go south. They're following imaginary lines, imaginary to us, but they're following lines and magnetic forces in the earth itself to bring themselves to places where they go and they have their babies. Okay, salmon swim upstream to the exact place that they were born so that they can go and spawn and hatch. Turtles go back to the very beach that they were born, and they've never been to any other beach, and they keep going back to the place where they were born generationally after generation after generation. And you are a human being. You are a higher form than those animals, and you have found a way with all of this technology, with all of these opportunity, to turn off your instincts, to not be able to discern for you when your family is in danger, to not be able to discern for yourself when it is not going to work out for you. You have lost the ability to turn on your instincts. You have lost the ability to be able to discern. You found yourself in a position where you are easily confused and easily lied to. And a lot of you are still sitting in the same place you were when you first saw one of my first videos, when you first saw me pack up myself in Qatar, flying halfway across the world with a child, going to a destiny that I did not know. If you go back and you play those videos, you will hear me speaking over myself, saying, I do not know what is on the other side of that plane ride to Dar es Salaam, but I know that as long as I'm on this journey, it is going to be great because I have that much, that deep kind of belief and respect and knowledge in myself. And how did I get there? I invested in myself. I took the time to put some things into myself that no one can take away from me. So what I want to say to y'all, okay, this coming 2025 is going to be different. It's going to be different. Things are going to be different. Get ready for it. Okay, if you're not gonna leave or you can't leave, get ready for it. I'm shaping a new conversation. I am focused strictly and primarily on entrepreneurs. And believe it or not, the best people in my world who make entrepreneurs are single women and single mothers. Why do they make the best entrepreneurs? Because an entrepreneur is a journey of faith. You have to walk on a road and you have to believe in something that is in front of you that you cannot see. The Bible says faith is a substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. You have to have some kind of faith. You have to have some kind of belief in you. You have to have some kind of knowledge and trust in what you cannot see, in something that is beyond yourself. So if you're going to sit there and look at all that you have going for you, that you think is going for you, you owe your car note, okay? You got what, another year left on your car, or you're still paying the bank. You've got car insurance. You've got health insurance. You've got childcare. You've got your rent, your light, your phone. At the end of the day, you're left with nothing after you go to work for 8 hours plus an hour to go and an hour to come back. That's 10 hours of your life of daylight that you have given over to service and still do not have enough. And still do not have enough to put yourself and your children and your family on the next level because you're just working and working and working and working without any kind of clarity in the future. Okay, so you have to take a leap, whether that leap is staying in America on an entrepreneurship journey, or whether that leap is coming or going to Africa or going somewhere else. You have to take a leap. You have to take a chance on yourself. And you have to do it in this year, 2025. You have to figure out, what do you want? Why do you want it? And what can you do to facilitate your own journey? No one is going to come and rescue you. No one is going to come and pack up your house. No one is going to come and tell you to leave. And I'm sorry for those of you who are Christian, there's no white Jesus coming from the sky on a white horse that is going to thunder down from heaven and slay the wicked and put you on his shoulders and escort you back to heaven. It is not going to happen that way. You are going to have to be your own savior. You yourself are going to have to jump on your own horse, and you're going to have to thunder yourself up on out of there. You have it within you. Once upon a time, when you were a child, when you were born, when you said, wow, I'm great. I have imagination. I can imagine things. I'm great. I have a future. I have something in me that God put here that nobody can take away. But over time, that greatness has dissipated under confusion and stress and worry and fear and everything else that keeps you in an invisible prison in a country that does not love you or support you. Okay? And no country is going to love you or support you. But basic human rights and basic dignities should come with the territory. You have to love and support yourself. You have to love and support yourself that, okay, well, if my government ain't doing nothing for me, I could do something for myself. You're going to have to come to a place in your consciousness that and recognize your value. And don't let nobody take it on you an idiot. That them a do them a turn on an idiot. The culture is turning you into an idiot. And then the minute you decide that you want to do something and you say, oh, let me see what's going on out there in Africa. Let me see what's happening. So there's another person turning you into an idiot. Do you know how many people or how many channels or how many things are set up just to keep you in America? Do you not realize that you're experiencing a race war in America? If you have something in whatever it is, healthcare, most African Americans die because of lack of healthcare. Most African Americans don't get the kind of funding that they need for their bank. Most African Americans are not going to get the support they need even when they're giving away money. When the technology pioneers started to create and design projects, it's not Black projects that they want to create and design. It's not Black funders. 40% of funders don't support Black businesses. Okay, so if they're putting you already in third world conditions, where you already have to scrap and survive, where you already have to figure it out, then guess what? You're prepared. You're already prepared. You're already prepared. So I'm doing this. Tell y'all why I haven't been on, but I'm here and I'm watching and I'm taking notes and I'm paying attention, and I'm not doing this to beat anybody over the head. Okay. But if your desire is for Africa, at some point in time, you're going to have to make that move. There's a lot of things that are happening in the world that is not designed for your success. Okay? And I want to sit here and tell you what you should do. But I think you know that. I think you should already know. Let me see what Constant has to say. Constant says, I can't read this. Uh, Constance says, thank you, Constance. I appreciate that so much. Yeah, you know, there's so many things that we can do as a people, but we need to we need to take a page out of the book of Tanzanians. And I'm going to tell you what I've learned from Tanzanians since I've been here. Tanzanians, they practice umoja, which is Swahili for unity. Okay? And in some senses, it's great. In other senses, it's like, what's going on? But at the core of it is each other. Okay? It doesn't matter if you're Muslim, and it doesn't matter if you're Christian. Their togetherness is more valuable than their religious beliefs. And so whatever you believe about Islam is not the same when it comes to Tanzania. They have Africanized it into us, we, community, okay? Instead of us versus them. Whatever you realize, whatever you've come to, say Christianity, no, they've Africanized it into us and we. That's something that I've learned from them. So you have Muslims marrying Christians. The son can choose to be a Muslim to follow his father, and marry a Christian, and it's not breaking families apart. It's not destroying. It's not destroying community. Instead, it's building and strengthening communities. So anything that you would see as a divisive tool culturally to divide people actually unifies people in Tanzania. They have one unifying language, even though there are over 200 tribes. They have a culture structure that is supportive of each other. Okay? Now, we coming from the West, we don't have such a culture structure. We don't have that kind of culture structure because our culture is not designed that way. Our culture is designed for capitalism, which equals selfishness, which why should I give you anything? You're going to, when I could do that, or why should I be a part of your group when I could go over here and form my own group? Why should I do, those kind of ideas and concepts that create division, and those divisions it's like a drop in a pond. It keeps permeating over and over and over in different aspects and different facets of the Black American experience. Am I blaming Black Americans? No. Of course we know that's by design. Of course we know what they did to us on the plantation, but that's 400 years ago. Well, just 100 years since we were free, right? And this time, 150, almost 200 years since we've been emancipated. And so we have now, instead of going back to our African culture, we've replicated what we see in the American way, in the American culture, to say, oh, I guess this is how we should do things, or I ain't doing that. Why should I do that? And we start looking at and replicating the negative society, the negative social structure that was constructed upon our own backs, that was constructed upon our own demise. We start to emulate and replicate that. And then we come to Africa with that concept and that psychology and that construct. And this people is why I'm like, I can't. I might as well just not do YouTube because I'm attracting, and it's not just me. It's not just me, and I'm. It's not just me, and it's not just in Africa, but the mentality of people who believe that they have everything, they know everything, and they can use that to beat other people down so that they can continuously be in a position of superiority to others without actual work or proof of said superiority. A lot of people make the mistake of thinking that superiority means that this person has more money than this person, so naturally you're naturally selected to lead. It's not about money. It's not about money. It's not about, looking around and saying, oh yeah, I'm a leader because I'm taller than these other people. That's not what it's about. It's not about anything tangible. It is about your intangible psychology, your philosophy, your ways of thinking that leads you consistently to success and progress. And that is what people rally behind as a leader. You don't declare yourself a leader because you feel like you're a man and you should lead. Your actions is what makes you a leader. And unfortunately, we've found ourselves in a position where we don't even know what that is. We don't even know where is up and where is down. Who is leading the Black community in America today? Is it Louis Farrakhan? That's a leader. Who is it that is leading you? What is the philosophy? What are the ideas that you're rallying behind that is going to allow you to also make decisions that you can also consistently grow and consistently improve and consistently develop success from? Where are those philosophers, and who are the philosophies that you're following? And when it comes down to leaving the United States, don't just pick up yourself and go. You need to be studying the philosophies of Marcus Garvey long before you get here. And you need to adopt a psychology of us and we instead of me, I, and them. You have to think in terms of we and us. Because if you are not doing that, you're not going to have the kind of success that you're looking for. So I'm not going to, I don't want to continuously have this conversation of telling people to go, because I found people who only had the plane ticket to go and then turn around and put their responsibility on me and tell me that, well, you told me to leave and now I'm here. Okay, I've put myself in the position too many times, and I've lost too much money behind people who do not value me. They do not value what I've done. They do not value what I'm doing. They don't value who I am. They don't care. They don't give a damn. And I value myself. And I care about me. I care about me, and I need the strength that I have, that I'm giving away. I need to pour that into Johanna. I need to pour that into my vessel. I need the oil that I brought from my lamp to put into my lamp. And I am not going to let anybody guilt me or make me feel stupid for realizing that I too need nurturing. I too need care. I too need support. I too need the same energy that I'm putting behind people. I need some of that for myself. So me being quiet and me not necessarily, showing off everything that I'm doing is not necessarily that I've abandoned y'all. It's pouring my energy into myself. Like this time of the day, I want to show you something. This is the sun. This is the sunrise coming up. Okay? In the mornings, I need to sit here and communicate with my God. I need to be able to see, you know, the nature around me. I need to be able to see and hear and communicate with my creator. Okay? So it cost me something to produce videos. It cost me something to produce to keep, you know, making these videos and talking to people. But is anyone listening? That's the important thing, is making sure that I'm not just throwing my seed into soil that cannot nurture it or grow it. Or, you know, the Bible talks about the parable of the sower, the parable of the farmer. He cast some seeds and some fell on rocks and they didn't grow. He cast some seeds on soil and they didn't get water. And he cast some seeds in good soil and they grew. So I'm forming good soil. I'm forming good soil so that when I start to sow my seeds again, I am sowing seed in fertile soil. I am sowing seeds and I'm ready to work with and carry people who are ready for the message and ready to make the changes in their life. Okay? I am not a part of any religion or a part of any cult. I'm not going to tell you that if you don't, you're either with me or with them. And when it comes down to, you know, this repatriation movement, when you get in Africa, it becomes a us versus them kind of thing. It becomes a Jesus doesn't want you to talk to them, or God doesn't want you to be under a woman, and it says in the Bible that a woman can't lead. So the people that you put your energy and your strength and you groom and you give advice and you pour your love and your time and your energy into them, and you start calling them your sister or you start calling them your brother, they themselves have their own their own religion that's telling them, oh, don't talk to her. Oh, don't you need to be communicating, or you need to only work with us. You need to only be with us. Well, then why should I keep bringing people, or why should I use my energy to keep pouring and giving away like that, you know? And so I'll go back to what I was doing before, just for the fun of it, just to talk to you. But I'm not going to keep pouring and pouring and pouring and pouring into empty cups, or cups that don't value what I bring, and just keep pouring it out, and, you know, and scattering my seeds and scattering my power and throwing all away with you know. So that's why you haven't really seen me that much. It's not that I don't care about you. I care about you, but I have to also care about me. Okay, I also have to pour some of what I'm pouring into other people. When somebody comes and say, well, I don't know what the next step is in my life. And I said, okay, what is your education? What is your background? What is this? What are you doing? And I can frame you up and say, you need to be in Qatar. You need to be in Bahrain. You need to be in Japan. You need to be in Germany. You need to be here. You need to be there. And I can use my lived experiences, not what I've heard, my lived experiences, to sculpt and tailor and create opportunities where you can stand anywhere in the world and be who you are in your own right. Okay? And pour my energy into people and push them to that level. And at the end of the day, anybody could come along and just tell them anything, and they're like, oh, okay, well, I guess, you know, nobody wants to, nobody wants to do any critical thinking. So I'm tired of that, and my child needs me. Jojo is now 9 years old. We came to Tanzania when she was 4. It is a transition process. It is going to be a continuous transition process. We're what you call so whenever you raise a child outside of the culture in which the parent was born in, they would call that a third culture kid. And I am a third culture kid. I'm a third culture kid raising a third culture kid. And for me, the important thing is stability, is structure, is values, and I can't just keep throwing myself away on people, and my child needs me. The person who should get the most of me is not getting what she needs from me, because I am out here helping this one to find a house that won't talk to me anymore once they get the house. You know, I can't be doing that. I can't be driving around for 2-3 days to help settle you and help you to get all that you need and put you where you need to be, and then we never hear from you again, and you didn't even think to say, okay, let me give her $1 for her services. No, the universe has been very kind to me. God has continuously blessed me, and I don't think I need to do certain things at my own expense. If it is the repatriation movement that people want to come back to Africa, then there are people out there who are diligently working on getting as many people as possible. They have Airbnbs, they have land, according to them, they have stuff for you to go and be a part of. And I said, I'll just be quiet and sit it out. I don't know who thought that I was going to starve to death if they destroyed my reputation, or they felt like I was going to disappear, or they felt like they could use their mouth as a wrecking ball, but not their strength as an energy, or their strength as the energy to guide people. And unfortunately, that's what a lot of y'all like. You like celebrity, you like popularity, you like hype over substance, you like the gossip, you like the gossip mill, you like being turned up into that. You love it, you really do. I mean, we're talking about the American culture has kept the soap opera industry in business for over 50, 60 years because people love the stories. They love the gossip. When they don't have anything tangible to attach to it, people start making stuff up. And unfortunately, a lot of the people who y'all took your gossip from and your stories from, where are they now? Where exactly are these people? What exactly did they offer you? And for the people who, took my advice and came up under my wing and then decided collectively through your meetings at your Shalom Shabbat that you decided that the Jamaicans were the enemy, and you left because you couldn't find the cohesive bond to form Umoja together, that despite me being a Jamaican and you being an American and you being a Trinidadian and you being a Haitian or you being this, that we could come together as a people to form our own Umoja, that we could be a strength, that we could work together with the Tanzanian people. Y'all didn't want that. You also did not want, or you don't know what you wanted, but what you knew that you felt that you wanted to be behind strong leadership. But in your mind, leadership is who can talk the best. Your leadership is who do people like the most. And I can tell you that it's not necessarily all about those people, because if you, or those ideas, because if you are always people pleasing and always doing the best to try to please as many people as possible, you will end up with an empty cup, because people are never satisfied. Unfortunately, the culture that we come from is designed to think about, what have you done for me lately? Me, 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 instead of us and we. So I had to like, no, I had to put a line in the sand. And, and from the beginning, I think that is a thing that irritates most people about me, is I have my boundaries. I have a line in the sand that circles Joanna and I. I can do this for you, but I can't do that for you. I can do this at this time, but I cannot do that at that time. And I am very strong and I'm very firm on my boundaries, because I have no one to pick up my slack. I have no one to provide for me. I have no one to say, well, I got you, honey. You go on and do that while I do this. I have to schedule my life and schedule my responsibilities for my child around, what is important and valuable to us as a family unit. So I cannot, and I never have been in the position where I can prioritize you over me, but I have done it. And that has been a problem with me. So the healing that I needed, I wasn't getting it, because I was prioritizing people, saying, oh, I'm here, or I need this, or I need that, or help me do this, or help me do that. And I said, well, you came to me for help. I've been saying I'm here to help, but it has not been reciprocated. And so this is why when I need help, you don't hear me, you don't hear me, you don't see me, I won't be hollering, I won't be calling, because people have the perception that, you know, she got all what she wanted. I'm the one that needs help now, you know, and without thinking that my responsibilities are humongous. So I have to take things back to the place where I can focus on my healing, and I can focus on my wellness, and I can focus on my mental strength. Because if I don't have those things, I have nothing. I put myself in the hospital, working myself to death, trying to, show people that, listen, you invest in my company. I don't go out and put weaves in my hair down to my butt and, spend that money on myself. I'm investing back into the company. Here, look, see, you can touch it. It's tangible, it's proof, it's factual. I've done it. I've done all that I said I would do. Well, why don't you also stand on your head? Why don't you also, it's never enough. It's never enough. It's like, why don't you hire all the people that I send to you? Why don't you do this, do that? No, there's a line in the sand that I cannot cross. And that line is called my sanity and my peace of mind. And if you want to attack me over not being able to make me crazy, then go ahead. So I've had to step back and say, what the hell is going on? What is going on? Am I the a-hole, or am I the one who is being set up? What is happening here? And so I have to really step back and look at things and make decisions that are for my sanity, and make decisions that support my goal of being in Tanzania. There was a lady who was here, Monique. She was here back in 2020, and we did a video together. And the video that we did, I'm on the move because the sun is coming up. Let me show you all around. That's my neighbor over there. Yeah. The video that we did, we expressly said we are here with our own mission and our own vision, and it is not possible to work on our own mission and our own vision while we are helping you to find a house, helping you to settle, helping you to do the things that you needed to do. And in that I saw, okay, well, if people are coming to me looking for houses, let me hire a Tanzanian lawyer who can handle that, and let people pre-book her time so that we don't lose any of our energy, and let them help her. And that's how we were able to hire a lawyer to help Tanzanians, people with that process, because we ourselves are foreigners. We ourselves came with dreams. We ourselves have our own ambition. We ourselves have our own goals. Okay. And then y'all get into the groups. Oh, she getting rich. Oh, it doesn't cost that. It doesn't this. It doesn't that. Blah, 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 blah. And she get rich off of us. And that went away. I want my money back. And foolishness. So we had to fire that lady. Y'all said you needed help with immigration. I said, listen, I'm not an immigration person, but I know an immigration lawyer. Here, this is the person that you need to talk to. Oh, I know a guy who could do this and who could do that and who could do this and who could do that. And where are you? Where are you now? So you have been your own worst enemy, and I have been a friend to that situation. I have been a friend in creating an environment where I am fueling this movement of people. I'm fueling the exodus. That is also the same fiery pit that I'm burning myself in. So why would I consistently continue that process? It wasn't serving me. It does not serve me. I want to focus on entrepreneurs. To come to Tanzania, to come to Africa, to come anywhere in the world, you need to be an entrepreneur. The best people, like I said, who make entrepreneurs are people who have faced adversity. I need people who can get behind themselves and get behind their own projects and be self-sustaining and be confident in themselves and who they are, and who can commit the time and the energy to do research and put themselves in the position where they can rise to the apex of their game. So whether you're in construction, I don't want the person who knows how to mix cement. I need the person who knows that he can get to the top where he can own a construction company and he can start, getting contracts. Okay. Whether he's talking about, well, I'm the guy who buys and sells car or buys and sells parts or whatever. I don't want that guy. I need the person who is at the top level of his game, who understands the import-export trade of vehicles and can start doing that. I don't want to deal with the people who have no goals. Okay? I don't want to deal with the people who have no direction for their lives. Okay, and I'm not saying I've closed off Africa and I've the Back to Africa movement and the repatriation, but what I can offer you is opportunities for vacation, opportunities for rest, relaxation, opportunities for connecting to Africa, opportunities for touring and coming and seeing what do we have to offer here. And so you can go ahead and make better informed decisions when you decide to move to Africa. That's what I'm offering. That is the new direction that I want to go in. And you know, a lot of people are, I don't know which direction, because no matter what you say or what I say, people find a way to find hurt and pain in it rather than looking at the opportunities that are there. Okay. And so that's where I've been. I've been healing and putting myself back to a place where I have value and I can decide and I can choose who I want to work with and how I'm going to work with those people. And so I'm launching a new channel. It's already launched. I have not yet put all the details on there. I want to be interviewing people who have projects, who have businesses, wherever in that world may be. It's about Black people, okay, Black owned businesses, because too many times we don't have the kind of funding, we don't have the kind of support, we don't have the kind of attention, we don't have the kind of people in our pocket that we need to help us to get to where we need to go, you know? So I don't really care if your project is in Mississippi, Alabama, Minnesota. I don't care where your project is. I want to talk to you. If you have a leadership project, I don't care if your project is in Africa or if your project is coming to Africa or if you're already in Africa, you know, through the project that I'm launching right now is how we're going to be able to make the best, sharpest minds with the tools and skills that they need and the funding opportunities available to them in order to have success wherever they go. Okay. I don't care if you want to stay in America or if you want to be in Canada or if you want to go to Ghana or to Mauritius. Okay. But I'm not down for the aimlessness. I'm not down for the confusion. I'm not down for the people who don't know who they are or what they are. I'm not down for the people who can just pick up their money and spend it and say, well, if it doesn't work out, I can go back home or I can go somewhere else. No, I need the people who can make commitments to say, come hell or high water, this project is going to have to fly. Okay, I need people to be that kind of rabid and that kind of passionate about what they're working on. So I said all of that to say this, and I'm going to make another live or make just another video because I'm not sure why the lives are coming the way they're coming. But I'm going to make another video that gives people more information into what I'm doing. So I have to, you know, change the conversation of how I want to continue my social media life. You know, I don't want to keep, you know, telling people, yeah, come on, come on, come on, come on. No, I don't want that. I don't want it because the types of people that are coming are not the kind of people who have it in them, have the grit in them, and the mental fortitude and the malleability to be able to rough and tumble and, you know, continue to just change their shape with the vessel. They need to be that kind of people to come to go to anywhere. You cannot be an American in Japan with American philosophies and American ideas and think that Japan is supposed to bow to you. No, you cannot be an American in Mexico and think Mexico is supposed to bow to you. No, you have to be like water. You have to take on the shape of the country and be able to understand things introspectively. And then you have to make certain changes to your character and your psyche to adapt and to connect with what you find in that culture. So you know, there's a lot that goes into that. And so I'm more focused on entrepreneurs. And I'm going back to the format that I had on the radio show in Jamaica. Those who used to listen to me on the radio, big up on yourself. I'm going back to the format that I had previously. For my Proudly app, those who have been around from them time, the big up on yourself. and those who have been with me from the beginning of this journey in Africa, big up on yourself. But I had to construct a new paradigm for the conversation that I want to have. I am pro Africa. I am all for Africans, and I'm all for the African continent, and I am a Pan-Africanist. I believe that we need to be in Africa to uplift and develop our people. But to be honest with you, some of y'all coming to Africa like you come to save Africa. You're not coming here to save Africa. Africa is saving itself. Okay? They're saving themselves. They know what to do. It's their environment, it's their country, it's their culture. They know what to do. Maybe they don't have the exposure. Maybe they don't have they don't know the next steps and they can't see over the horizon. But don't you think for a minute that you're coming here to save them. You have to be in the mentality that you're coming to support. You're going to jump in the boat and you're going to row the boat. You're going to start rowing. Okay? You got to jump in and fit in where you can. And if somebody says, sit in my boat and row it, and we want to go over there, you have to be willing to say, okay, my boat was going that way. But let me turn around and row this way with you. Okay. So there's a lot that goes into navigating the African culture or navigating culture in general. So I want to talk to the people because we don't have any kind of systems that are in place to support our entrepreneurial journey. And not all of our entrepreneurial journey begins and ends at home. Not all of us have an expectation for an entrepreneurial journey that is, that encompasses, small businesses, opening a hair cutting shop on Main Street. Not everybody has those visions. Some of us have other ideas. Some of us have other projects that we want to see funded, and we want the direction and we want the value to grow those projects. So that's what I've been working on. And I'm going to go ahead and stop it here and put oh Lord, my says proudly was ahead of its time. Oh my God, I want to cry. It's ahead of its time. It was ahead of its time. And now when I see people on social media going, we need to have our own platform, we need to be doing things for ourselves, I'm like, you did have that. You had it 10 years ago, but you weren't ready for that message. And I think that has been one of my greatest issues is I'm ahead of my time. And I'm not just ahead of my time. I'm willing to go 10, 15 years into the future, tap into an idea and build that piece of technology into this present time and say, this is where we're going 10, 15 years. Do this. But, we need vision. We need vision. And, it's very hard to get people to tap onto that. Like, why would Black people all want to be on one app when the whole world is on Facebook? And I'm so happy now that a lot of people know that a lot of people realize that it's not necessarily serving you. And I'm going to give you one tangible thing that you can touch, that you can reach out with your finger, and you can see how social media has not served Black people. Forget about Black-owned businesses. Let's talk about the war on Black marriages. Let's talk about the war on Black relationships. Look at that us versus them. Look at the red pill movement and the men with the microphone and how they have used social media to denigrate and break apart not just Black women, the entire Black family social construct, which without family, you have nothing. You have no culture. You have no foundation. We have men in their 50s and their 60s living in a big house with a big car and having a job with great income, but no woman, no children, nothing to support their goals or their vision or their mission, right? They want to go get some dumb woman somewhere in the world to come to come and join them in their misery because they refuse to change. Meanwhile, on the other side, we have the Black woman she's like Mrs. Pac-Man. She's out there She's racking up the points. She got the education. She got the house. She got the car. She got the future. No man, no kids. And the poison that has been spewing in that culture, Black men against Black women. Now we have the interracial relationships because the white men realize that the Black women are superior, so they're all over us now. And the white men realize that the decisions that they made a generation ago to be with old Becky, and Becky dropped them the minute that they were not providers, that they had an injury or they didn't have the kind of money that they had when they first started dating Becky. So now we have this completely divided and divisive culture. Ain't nobody trying to get married because they don't want to split half of their money, but they are willing to live by themselves and live half lives. They're willing to live half lives. They're willing to not provide, not give, and not support because either A, some single mama told them, don't give your money to no woman, and you mustn't take care of no woman, because nobody took care of them. Okay? And so that is the battlefield, and it is all being perpetrated by social media. Now, let me ask you something. If back in the day, if in the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, we had COINTELPRO, counterintelligence programs that were designed against Black unity, what the hell do you think they're doing now with social media in this time when we are supposed to be unified? In this time when we're supposed to have our own structures for each other, in this time where we're 50-year-old grade dude is supposed to be able to get with Miss 30-year-old, Miss 40-year-old something, and come together as a power couple, and she can say, look, I have a plan to do this, and he can say, bet, I don't know anything about that plan, but I have experience doing this part of your plan. Why don't we come together and work? Where is that? Where is that? I know. Social media ate it. Your entire social construct in America is designed to denigrate and deprive you of each other, of Black relationship. That is the entire agenda of your social construct in the United States. Can you imagine that anywhere else in the world? Meanwhile, you have populations in decline. Meanwhile, you have more incarcerations of Black men, Black people than anywhere else in the world. America is the most jailingest culture in the world. So we have, and then, we don't want nobody who's been to no jail. We don't want no jailhouse, man. Meanwhile, you can point to, a police brutality when we say, okay, we got to march for our men. Meanwhile, we can point to, just all of the overturns that DNA has removed against Black men because they were falsely accused and falsely imprisoned. Now look at those things deeply. What are they trying to prevent? They're trying to prevent you all from getting together. That's it. That's the thing that they fear the most. They were afraid of y'all when you were on the plantation. They were afraid of y'all when you got free. They were afraid of y'all when you started talking about going to Africa. Now they're scared to death of y'all coming together with all that money, having sex and making babies and buying up all the houses in the rich neighborhoods. They're scared of you. They're afraid of you. Can you imagine living with someone who is afraid of you all the time? They will try to make shit up. They will try to divide you. They will try to conquer you. And that is exactly what they're doing. A whole generation of women who want children are living and dying without that opportunity of getting married and having and raising a family and being well taken care of and being loved and led by strong and loving, kind men because of social media. So I thought, why don't I make my own social media? Since the very issue, when we go to Claude Anderson talking about economics of Black people, back in the day when I was researching proudly in when I started to do that in 2013, the same year I was diagnosed with a brain tumor, I decided that I was not going to die without doing something productive with my life. And I decided to teach myself coding and teach myself technology. And that's what I did with Proudly. I had all of the skills and the knowledge. It wasn't hard to jump to make a leap from airline programming language to source code. It's not hard because the keystrokes on a Sabre or an Apollo system or a WorldSpan system, you can clearly see that you're working in a technology atmosphere. So it wasn't hard for me to make that leap from that world in travel to the world of technology. And so I began teaching myself coding while I was recovering from my brain tumor. And I decided that I wasn't going to die with my strength in me. So I put out Proudly, and it was ahead of its time. It was way ahead of its time. So, fast forward 10 years into 10 years, and we are here now. We're here now where I said we would be 10 years ago. Y'all people still talking about, oh, black don't have any economic power. No, you don't. Oh, black people can't get funded and supported for their business. No, they can't. They can't. Well, we don't have any social media platform for ourselves because you didn't want one, but you had one. You had one. Okay. I took that piece of technology all the way to Oasis 500 in Amman, Jordan. I got certified through Oasis 500. I took that piece of technology to China. I took that piece of technology all the way around the world. I took that piece of technology to Jamaica, but you were not ready for that conversation. I wonder if you're ready now. Anyway, I'm having a new conversation. I have to come from where we were. So in 2013, I was looking at us where we're going to be in 2024. Okay. And now we're there. We are there. We're exactly where I said we would be if we didn't have productive intervention in our technology. We're exactly where I said we would be 10 years ago. And I am going to reintroduce Proudly in a different platform. I'm reintroducing Proudly in a new conversation, because where I thought you all were prepared to say, yeah, we need to have unity. We can't just be scattering our forces and giving away everything to Mark Zuckerberg. Now we want to complain about Zuckerberg doing this and Zuckerberg doing that, but you all want to sit around and lounge on Facebook and social media without realizing you are the content creators. It's a magazine. It's like a magazine with no writers. Okay, that's what Facebook is. That's what Instagram is. That's what all these social media things are. It's a magazine with no writers. Okay, where they don't have to hire people. You're the writer. You sit there and you write your story. I used to do it. You sit there and you write these long prologues and epilogues of your life. You sit there and you put the pictures and you start engaging people because your life is so fascinating and fun. You start putting all of your content and all of your information there, and you start talking about what you like, what you don't like. And so now you begin to get this ad serving. Where is the ads coming from? They have a whole entire system in place to advertise to you. So my question is, if the Black consumer is the most powerful consumer in America, okay, even though Black consumers are making less than everybody else, why aren't we in charge of our own social media, where we can be in charge of our own ads and say, listen, if you want to reach the Black consumer Toyota, you give us this money so we can hire our people. Because if you tried to get a job at Google or a job at Facebook, you weren't going to get it. Okay, God bless the one or two exceptional Blacks that they've been able to put into their systems. But for every one exceptional Black, there's 100 Black people behind them. Okay, so now we're in this place of AI, where guess what? Your content is of no value anymore, because all they have to do is start generating. Adidas just came out with an ad that had no artist in it. It had no music by an artist. It had no models. It had no, everything was AI produced. Okay. And when you find those kind of brands, instead of being a blind and dumb consumer to wiggle your way onto the store and buy those things, you need to be boycotting those things. You know why? How can they advertise to you and they didn't put anything in you? How can they advertise to you as a consumer to go buy, but your auntie still needs a job? How can they do that? And that is why certain things that are happening in the American culture, y'all pay very, 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 very close attention to it. Okay? Y'all need to start boycotting the ones that are emptying your pockets. They're not putting anything in there. They're not doing anything for you. You want to buy a car? You want to buy a car? Go see what Ford is funding. What has Ford funded for education? You want to buy, go see what Toyota is doing. What are they doing in your community? What have they done? Where have they built anything? What have they done for you? Okay, it needs to be a reciprocal relationship. That instead of just blind consumer spending, but they clowning y'all. Them are cloning and them are taking a ton of idiot. Well, ear what? No, I had to bring myself down. Okay, probably was ahead of its time. I'm ahead of my time. I understand these things. And it is just for me to say, okay, Renee, you're on 20. You move at light speeds ahead. You need to now focus on the people who want to see things the way you see things, who want to understand how to follow trends and how to follow graph charts and how to follow things and how to look at things futuristically and understand it. Instead of having the success that we should have, back in 2013, the Black consumer spending was 1.3 trillion, not billion, trillion US dollars. Trillion. That is where your consumer spending is. They have broken y'all down to nothing but a consumer and how to appeal to you without getting anything back from you. They still locking y'all up. They still underfunding your schools. They're still sending home your teachers. They're still denying you opportunities. They're still not funding your projects, but them want no money. And then they're gonna use AI and AI to take away your opportunities and social media to destroy your families. They want y'all dead, but they can't. They don't want you dead. They want you to work. They need you to keep working and keep feeding and keep funding. And that's why they keep you so close to the edge. They're so very close to the edge, but not necessarily opening the gates for you to come in because they need you. They need you to keep working. They need you so that they can continuously have that consumer. Okay, so you're the fat pig. You're the fat pig, but they need you to be a dumb fat pig. Okay, I'm not believing in that. I believe in an intelligent enough to know when people are taking a ton of that idiot. Anyway, I have something. I've spent the time. I've worked on it to figure out the conversation that I want to have, the direction in which I want to go, and how I can be of value and to you and your journey. I'm looking for entrepreneurs, whether that entrepreneur is in America or wherever you want to be. We're talking about a global push for our sustainability wherever in the world, and that's aside from my Pan-African philosophies. But as far as I'm concerned, if you're Black, you're African. So whatever we're going to be talking about, we're going to be doing from the perspective of Africa. Okay, so whether you're going to be in Japan or you're going to be in Spain with an idea, it's going to be an African in Spain. Okay, and you're going to realize that, and realize that you represent, or what you represent, or who you represent when you show up in these places and these spaces, and your own power of your melanin. All right, so I'm going to put my email here. It's been a long rant, but I'm going to come back. Okay, I want to share with you where we're going 2025. Okay, this is my email address for anybody who suffered the sermon long enough. Okay, mail.com. Yeah, if you suffered the sermon long enough and you want to talk to me, this is my email address. Okay, so it's exodusafrica1@gmail.com. That's XOTUS the number 1@gmail.com. I can't wait to talk to y'all. I can't wait to show y'all what I'm working on next. But like I said, I'm looking for entrepreneurs. I'm looking for people who are entrepreneur minded, who have ideas, who realize that their ideas are not just things that enter into the mind, that your ideas are visions, and visions become reality. Everything that you can see, think, and touch that was not produced by earth or by the heavens first came from the imagination of man. Therefore, anything that you can touch, someone imagined that. And what is another person's imagination more valuable than yours? Okay, everybody's ideas and their goals have value, and we need to stop putting our destiny in the hands of people who don't value us. Okay, all right, there we go. Love y'all. Thank you so much for watching. Lord, 1 hour and 21 minutes. Anyway, love y'all. Bye bye.